Let's be honest. Before I turned 30, I torched at least $10,000. That's a conservative estimate. It wasn't on one big stupid purchase like a sports car I couldn't afford. It was worse. It was a slow, silent burn. Thousands of tiny paper cuts to my financial future. The late fees I should have automated, the investments I delayed, the subscriptions I forgot. It was the cost of ignorance, the price of just winging it with my money. I see people making these exact same mistakes every single day. Frankly, it drives me crazy because they are so avoidable. You're in your 20s, new jobs, new relationships, figuring out who you are. The last thing you want to think about is a 401k or the fine print on your credit card statement. I get it. It's boring. It feels restrictive. You tell yourself, I'll get serious about money later when I'm making more. This is the single most dangerous lie you can tell yourself. Later's a magical fantasy land. In the real world, later means you've lost your most powerful financial weapon, time. The good news, you don't have to repeat my dumb mistakes. You can get ahead of 99% of your peers with a few small, almost effortless changes. This isn't about cutting lattes or living like a monk, it's about designing a rich life. Forget the guilt, forget the shame. Today, we're getting tactical. No spreadsheets, no complicated software, just a few powerful moves. Let's get started. Here's a phrase I hear all the time: I don't budget. People say this with a strange sense of pride, as if they're too cool or spontaneous for a budget. They think a budget means tracking every penny and feeling guilty about coffee. This is a complete myth. A budget isn't a financial straitjacket, it's a spending plan. It's you telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Without a plan, your money leaks out through tiny invisible holes. That's why you get that sinking feeling a week before payday. You log in, see a low number, and have no idea how it happened. You know you got paid, but the money is gone. It went to lunches you don't remember, impulse buys you barely used, subscriptions you forgot you had. This isn't freedom, it's chaos. It's letting your impulses and marketing decide your financial destiny. This lack of a plan causes almost all money stress. The fix is almost insulting in its simplicity. I call it the conscious spending plan. It's not a budget. It's a plan. Forget tracking every dollar. Focus on the big picture. What percentage of take-home pay goes to fixed costs, savings, investments, and guilt-free spending? Show simple pie chart on tablet. Figure out what percentage of take-home pay goes to 4 key areas: fixed costs like rent and bills, savings for emergencies and goals, investments for retirement, guilt-free spending for everything else. That's it. Automate savings and investments. Pay your fixed costs. Spend the rest from the guilt-free category. Totally guilt-free. Here's your action today. Open your Notes app. Write your monthly take-home pay. Now, assign percentages. Start 50 to 60% for fixed costs, 10% for investments, 5 to 10% for savings, 20 to 35% for guilt-free spending. These are guidelines. They don't need to be perfect. Writing them down and choosing is the win. This plan lets you spend on what you love, after handling the important stuff first. Credit cards aren't inherently evil, but the way most young people use them is financially suicidal. The banks have spent billions to make that little piece of plastic feel like a magic wand. It doesn't feel like you're spending real money when you tap to pay. It's frictionless. That's by design. Before you know it, you've racked up a balance on dinners, clothes, concert tickets. You couldn't afford them with cash. You tell yourself you'll pay it off next month, but then next month happens. The real danger is the soul-crushing interest. Credit cards often charge 20% or more. When you only make the minimum, you're agreeing to pay 3 or 4 times the original price. That could be a pizza or a pair of jeans. It's a treadmill of debt that's incredibly hard to get off. You're working hard just to send hundreds to a bank, making them rich while you spin your wheels. This is not how you build wealth. Change your relationship with credit. Stop thinking of it as extra money. Think of it as a payment tool, nothing more. New rule: if you can't afford it with the money in your checking account right now, don't put it on your credit card. Use your card for convenience and points. Treat it like a debit card. Pay your statement balance in full every single month. No excuses, no carrying a balance. Ever. Action. Log in now and pay at least $50 more than the minimum, then set auto pay to the full statement balance. Life is unpredictable. Your car will break down. Your laptop will die the week before a huge project is due. You'll get a surprise medical bill. These aren't if events, they are when events. I call them oh shit moments. Without a safety net, minor inconveniences become catastrophes. You toss it on a high-interest card, take a payday loan, or borrow from family, layering stress and shame. The psychological cost is immense. You live with a constant low-grade hum of anxiety. You're always one flat tire away from a crisis. It affects your confidence, your relationships, and your performance at work. You can't take risks, a better job or a side hustle, because one expense could sink you. An emergency fund isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind and freedom. Build a buffer between you and chaos. This money is not for investing, not for a vacation. It's insurance against life's surprises. First goal, save $1,000, enough to cover most minor emergencies without derailing your life. Then work up to 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. That protects you from bigger shocks like a job loss. Open a separate savings account, name it emergency fund, and automate a weekly transfer, $25 or $100. And spot and draw and underball. Yes, dollars. And dollars. The amount matters less than starting. In your 20s, retirement feels distant, like colonizing Mars. You think, I'm young, I have plenty of time. I'll start when I'm older. Mathematically, that's the most expensive mistake you can make. It's a multi-million-dollar error. By delaying, you rob your future self of compound interest. Money you invest in your 20s is exponentially more powerful than money you invest later. Every single year you wait costs you tens, if not hundreds, of thousands over time. Invest $100 a month at 25, and you could have over $300,000 by 65. Wait until 35, and it's about $135,000. Same effort, half the money, gone. Make retirement saving automatic and non-negotiable. Set it and forget it while you live your life. Start with your employer plan, 401k or 403b, especially if there's a match. A company match is free money. It's part of your salary. Not taking it is like burning cash. Action. Log into HR and enroll. Contribute at least enough to get the full match. Put it all in a simple, low-cost target date fund. No 401k. Open a Roth IRA with a reputable provider. Set an automatic transfer of just 1% of your income. Increase it later. Start today. There's a silent army of tiny expenses marching out of your account every month, and you don't notice. I'm talking about subscriptions, the streaming service for one show, the fitness app you use twice, the monthly box you're over, the free trial that converted. Each is small. $7.99 here, $14.95 there. So you ignore it. Together, they add up to hundreds or thousands. This isn't just about money, it's about intention. Recurring charges are passive spending built on your inertia. Every wasted dollar could be invested, saved for a down payment, or spent on something you truly love. Fixing this is a treasure hunt where the prize is your money. Perform a subscription audit, pull the last 3 months of statements, highlight every recurring charge. Ask, do I use this and do I love it? If it's not a clear yes, cancel it on the spot. No hesitation, no, maybe later. You can always sign up again. This 20-minute exercise can easily save you $500 a year. We've covered the biggest mistakes before 30, the myth of budgeting, the trap of credit cards, the necessity of an emergency fund, the urgency of investing, and the silent drain of subscriptions. The list can feel overwhelming. You don't have to fix everything at once. The journey starts with one small step. Spend extravagantly on what you love and cut mercilessly on what you don't. This isn't deprivation, it's conscious choice. Design a system that automatically handles saving, investing, and paying off debt, so you can use the rest guilt-free. Imagine buying dinner or taking a weekend trip without that nagging voice. That is a rich life. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Winners aren't smarter, they started. Automate one small thing, then another. These wins stack and work 24/7, even while you sleep. Final call to action. Pick one, set up your emergency fund transfer, enroll in your 401k, or cancel one useless subscription. Do it right now. 10 minutes today beats 100 hours of worry. Start now, your future self will thank you.